Tahiti, with about 200,000 people, is the largest island in French Polynesia. A group of more than 100 islands still tied to France from the colonial past. The island itself is shaped like the figure 8. Tahiti Nui, Big Tahiti, the larger western half, and Tahiti Iti, Small Tahiti, the eastern peninsula. We stayed on Tahiti Nui, close to the capital, the city of Papeete. Hey, my name is Neal, and in this video I will cover one of the longest stretches of ocean that we traveled with the Peace Boat, between Easter Island and Tahiti. We had a wedding on board, we had my own birthday, I won a table tennis tournament, and there was a peace concert where I gave a speech. There was also one more sobering lecture on board which talked about nuclear detonations in the Polynesian islands. And then finally we arrive in Tahiti, where I signed up for a surfing class. Somewhere during the 8 days in the middle of the Pacific, 2 passengers got married. It was Japanese style, and yes, cheesy, but genuinely sweet. Friends gave emotional speeches, there was a cake cutting ceremony where one guest jumped out of the cake, there was singing, there was dancing, and a wedding arch that the couple walked through together. All of it happening while we were sailing through open ocean with no land in sight. It was also my birthday. The Venezuelan quartet on board played Happy Birthday for me, one of those small moments that felt special. If your birthday falls while you're on the ship, Peace Boat offers you a free cake. And if you give them 3 days notice, you can organize a birthday dinner and choose how many people you will have joining. I celebrated my birthday in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, surrounded by friends of all ages and cultures I had made on this trip. Later that night, the Filipino band in the Wheelhouse Bar played Happy Birthday too, and we danced to 70s and 80s music until late.
Happy birthday, Neal, and more power to you. We're not coming from Once again, Neal, from everybody here, happy birthday.
I don't know if I'll ever have a birthday somewhere this remote again. There was another table tennis tournament, and this time I got paired with a strong younger player on board. There was lots of enthusiasm and interest from the audience who were cheering us all on, especially in the final, making the atmosphere feel extra competitive and exciting. We won all 5 of our double matches and ended up taking the whole tournament, beating a very strong player from Hong Kong in the close final. One evening we had a peace concert out on the deck, lit with bamboo lights, drumming, singing, and talks from different passengers. I was asked to share a 30-second peace message, so I decided to quote Martin Luther King in front of the biggest crowd I'd spoken to yet on this ship. Honestly, intimidating, but I think important to do. The sky that night made up for the stress. incredibly clear stars, and I even caught a falling one. Somewhere in those 8 days, I also sat in on a lesson on traditional nautical navigation, taught by one of the ship's veteran captains. GPS makes all of this obsolete now, accurate to within a meter. But for most of history, sailors read stars, sun, and coastlines to figure out exactly where they were on an empty ocean. Worth knowing next time you take GPS for granted. The heaviest part of the passage between Rapa Nui and Tahiti was a lecture from a Hawaiian guest speaker who spoke about Hawaii and Tahiti's shared history of colonization and about the nuclear testing France and the US conducted across the Pacific decades ago. France carried out a large number of atmospheric and underground nuclear detonations on its Polynesian territories across the mid to late 20th century. The fallout contaminated land and ocean that communities had relied on for generations, pushing people away from traditional farming and fishing towards dependence on imported goods. Families were displaced, cash economies were introduced, and the French colonial government restricted use of the local Tahitian language in favor of French. There are sharply elevated cancer rates and birth defects in the affected communities, even though French authorities had assured islanders at the time that the tests were safe. When peaceful protest didn't change French policy, some locals turned to more forceful resistance. The speaker's phrase was that violence becomes the only language the colonizer understands once peaceful appeals are ignored. The lecture also connected this history to tourism itself. Much of the infrastructure visitors rely on today, roads and airports, was originally built for military use. And it wasn't just France. Across the same era, the United States conducted its own extensive nuclear testing program on the Marshall Islands, with similar consequences: displacement, contamination, and long-term health effects on the local population. The heavy history of the Polynesian islands stands in stark contrast to their natural beauty, and not something I had given much thought before this lecture. Tahiti itself is stunning. Palm trees, blue water, green mountains, and very hot. I spent the first part of the day just walking through town and taking it in. One thing I learned on board, in Polynesian culture, both men and women often wear a flower, the tiara Tahiti, behind one ear. Women typically wear it open, men wear a bud. And which side you wear it on actually means something. Left side, closer to your heart, signals you're in a relationship or married. The right side means you're single and ready to mingle. In the afternoon, I took a surf lesson, only my second time ever, after a first attempt in Costa Rica back in 2014 that left me sunburned across the backs of my legs from lying on the board too long. This time I came prepared with sunscreen and long pants. The sand on the beach we were in Tahiti was black, and the waves were strong. Our instructor walked us through how to catch a wave and pop up onto the board, first practicing on land before heading in. It was a real workout, getting thrown off, fighting the current to swim back out, and doing it all again. I managed to stand up a few times, and watching some of the more experienced surfers around us made it clear how much more there is to learn. We left Tahiti after dark, with the usual farewell party out on the deck, watching the island's lights fade behind us. Another chapter of this voyage closed. This video covered the stretch of journey between Easter Island and Tahiti, but there's more Polynesian islands ahead. Next, we're going to Samoa. Stay curious, and thanks for watching.